Hey guys, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick. I missed the trading recap last week because I was in Las Vegas running the Red Rock Half Marathon. My brother and I both finished in the top 10, while the girls took first and second place in their age group. So overall, pretty productive weekend. Before you call me a liar from the last video. But seriously, if you don't start a Vegas morning at a BYOB Denny's, then you're not doing Vegas right.
See, I told you this combination was a grand slam.
Next weekend, I'll be heading to Toronto to celebrate a friend's birthday. So I thought a midweek recap would be the most beneficial. What I didn't plan for before I left was 4 consecutive days of the stock market dropping. On Thursday, we saw the S&P 500 drop 0.4%. Then on Friday, 1.1%. Monday, 3.4%. And today, 3%. And the Dow is down $2,267 in this time. In just the past 2 trading days, $1.7 trillion of market value has been lost. So what's causing this drop? The impacts of the coronavirus are becoming more and more realized, and the disease is spreading across countries, including Iran and Italy. Apple was the first company to call out the possible impacts from the coronavirus on February 17th, warning that the coronavirus would cause them to miss on revenue, create production delays, and weaken the demand in China. This warning dropped the stock 3% at the open. But in just 2 days, the stock was back at all-time highs. At this point, I was shocked that the impact wasn't larger, but the markets were just taking their time digesting the information. So if the coronavirus is the spark to this market pullback, what's the gasoline? How overbought the market's been recently. If you check the monthly chart of the S&P 500, you'll see that whenever the market extends drastically over the higher band of the 20-period Bollinger Band, it's seen a pullback. One quick one in March of 2017, and the other at the start of 2018. But look how each of these drops have been followed up with a bounce, and soon, all-time highs. If you're a long-term investor, this pullback just gives you a buying opportunity. For traders, on the other hand, this correction will give you a hard dose of reality. We've seen stock prices skyrocket lately, so you could have been a sloppy trader and still be profitable. This drop forces you to sharpen your skills, refurbish your trading rules, and get a game plan together so you can trade without emotions. In other breaking market news, Disney CEO Bob Iger is stepping down and taking a role as an executive chairman during the transition. Bob Chapek was announced as his successor. And how is that affecting the stock? On top of slipping 9.3% the last 4 trading days, it's down another 2% in after hours. Now let's jump to the Morgan Stanley. I'm not sure what to call this anymore because Morgan Stanley bought E-Trade for $13 billion last week. So let's just jump to the platform to take a look at the trades that I've made already and some support lines for other stocks. The first stock we'll talk about is American Airlines. And this stock was up near $31 just a couple weeks ago. Since then, it's dropped below the 200, the 20, and the 50-day simple moving averages, and has now set its lowest close price since 2013. And if we zoom in on that day, you'll see why investors are so worried. That was the day after a 100% gain, which means there's a giant gap that could be filled. And for that reason, I bought 2 puts on the stock. Now, I don't believe that this gap is going to fill, but I do think the stock has more room to fall. Next, we have Tesla. And for the first time in its monster bull run, the stock has closed below the 8-day exponential moving average, this purple line here. The next test would be to see if the 20-day simple moving average holds up. Otherwise, the stock could fall to fill some of the gaps below, including this $653 gap and the $589 gap. With only this support in line and 2 gaps to fill, I've gone short on Tesla. Another stock I wanted to talk about was IBM. And this one's interesting because it always seems to fill the gaps. Gapped up on earnings, and then in 4 days filled that gap. And now we've seen it gap up again, and then really run up over the Bollinger Band. After the first red candle outside of the Bollinger Band, the stock has been dropping ever since. On Monday, we saw the stock close below the 20-day simple moving average, this green line. And today we saw it bounce just off the 50-day. So this might hold some support. I bought 2 puts here. Even though there is support at the 50-day simple moving average, it could test this lower 200-day moving average, which would also just about fill the gap here. So that's my price target by going short. Once this gap's filled, I'm out. And finally, we have Spotify. And this stock's been holding up pretty well compared to others. The past week or so, the stock's been within the 20-day moving average, the green line, and the 200-day simple moving average, the yellow line. This yellow line to me is really important because we've seen the stock try and drop below it and bounce off once, twice, and 3 times. If the stock closes below this, then it might make a squeeze down to fill this gap over here from earnings. So I haven't taken a position in this stock yet. If we get a close above the 20-day simple moving average, then I'll go long. A close under the 200-day simple moving average, and I'm going short to try to fill a gap. Thanks for tuning in to Stock Tricks with Nick. Take 20 minutes to get a trading plan together for a few different scenarios. This way, you're just reacting to a plan and not letting your emotions dictate your trades. If the market bounces back quickly, what are you going to do? If the market opens lower, what are you going to do? If you haven't hit the like button, what are you going to do? In the description below, I link my trading journal along with my stock twits and Twitter accounts, so give those a follow. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel where I make weekly trading recaps like this or other personal finance videos. Good luck trading!